Here's a great little dish that you can make for you and all your family. A creamline chicken, leek and potato pie. But first things first, let's run through the ingredients that you'll need to make this delicious dish. 1 cooked chicken, skinned and diced. 1 leek, washed, sliced and diced. 1 onion, peeled and finely diced. 1 small bunch of parsley, washed and chopped. 2 large baking potatoes, peeled and thinly sliced. 250 ml of milk. 50 ml of whipping cream. 250 ml of chicken stock. 50 grams of butter. 50 grams of plain flour. 4 rashers of bacon. 250 grams of fine green beans, trimmed, blanched in boiling salty water, and salt and pepper. So let's get started with this chicken, leek and potato pie, this fabulous creamline recipe which we've developed for you. First of all, we need to take a large bowl and we're going to utilise some ready cooked roast chicken. So if you had a Sunday roast and you've got some roast chicken left, it's perfect to make a midweek meal with now. So literally take your diced and skinned chicken into a large bowl, and into there we're going to incorporate some fresh chopped parsley, just a little there. Again, you could make that tarragon if you wanted to, if you're into your herbs and things like that too, but we're going to go with the parsley today. Also some leeks. Now again, interesting talking about leeks and fruit and vegetables and so on. When you buy your veg boxes from Creamline, all your fruit and veg, it's all hand-picked from local markets, locally sourced markets, so you're guaranteed to get the best quality. Not like some alternative supermarkets where you get your online vegetables and fruit delivered, where you may not be getting the very best of the quality you'd expect. So Creamline have really thought about that, and it's all been hand-picked for you. And also you can only get what you want. So if you decide you want carrots, green beans, celery, tomatoes in your veg box, that's all you'll get. You won't get parsnips if you didn't order them, and so on. So we've got our leeks in there. Then we take our onions, and our onions will then go into the combination as well. So that's leeks, onions and chicken with a little bit of parsley. And then it's important to season, so always salt and pepper into here, because remember, if it's going to be a pie, we can't get it in afterwards, so a little bit of salt and pepper, and we go with that too. And then it's just a case of really bind all these ingredients together so they're all nicely merged and kind of mixed together like this. And then don't forget your chicken's already cooked, so it's not a pie that's going to take too long to cook now. It's just a case of the onions and the leeks that need to cook all the way through, and the potatoes which go on the top nearer the time. So from that point, all we have to do is take our dish that's going to go into the oven, so a nice earthenware dish, and then combine all our ingredients into the dish like this. And then we're going to put that to one side for a moment while we start to make the sauce, which we're going to drizzle over the top. So now that the pie filling is ready, we can now turn to our sauce. So we'll take a saucepan onto the heat, add a little bit of butter, about 50 grams for the quantity we're making here today. Once the butter is melted, which doesn't take very long, just give it a little chance just to melt down there, we're going to incorporate some plain flour and make what we call a roux. So this is the base to make our sauce, which will thicken, and then we'll flood over the recipe which we've just created. So into there, just a little flour. There we go. Now again, this doesn't take very long because it's only small quantities that we need, and it's quite a good way to thicken your sauces with the flour and the butter there. So just get that all nicely. It almost turns into a paste, and I'll show you that in a second. We'll just get it a little bit longer on the heat, and you can see from here now, there we are, almost like a little paste. There we go. And also don't forget, it's not just your fruit and vegetables you can order through Creamline, you can also get your flour and your butter too. So your essential stock cupboard ingredients, they're all there as well. Just take a look at the website, creamline.co.uk. Right, okay, so the butter and the flour, almost forgot there, is now turned into a paste. The next thing to add is going to be our milk, our chicken stock, and a little drizzle of cream. This will make it nice and rich and creamy. And the milk obviously makes it into a white sauce with the chicken stock giving more flavour too. So in goes the milk, in goes the chicken stock. And at that point, if you want, you can continue with a spatula, or you can take your spatula out and get a whisk in there instead. And then once all the flour and the butter has kind of turned from a paste, and to make the sauce a little bit thicker, we can then add the cream, just a little drizzle of cream, just to make it nice and rich. So this is going to take a minute or two just to warm and thicken through. While that's doing that, we can think about what we're going to serve our chicken, leek and potato pie with. We're going to do some green beans wrapped in bacon. Now again, talking of green beans and vegetables, we've got to think about freshness. So when you buy fruit and vegetables in the supermarket, they're not all guaranteed to be as fresh as you maybe like. Where if you go to Creamline to buy your vegetables and fruit and so on, it's all hand-picked in the local markets in the Greater Manchester and Cheshire area. So you're getting exactly the ingredients you want, fresh from a local community, and they're all being hand-picked. If I can just show you these green beans. There we go. Now these have been blanched just in boiling salted water just for a minute or two, and you can see the lovely vibrant colour. I mean, they're really nice. They're still crisp as well, which is what you want for your vegetables, and you'll only get that quality from Creamline, so there's another good reason to buy online. Right, okay, so we'll go back to our sauce for the moment and we'll see how that's doing. So again, whisk or spatula, whichever you decided, just give it a nice little stir around there. At that point now, it's just starting to warm through. You probably see a little bit of steam maybe in a second. And then just add about 10 or 15 mils of cream just to make it nice and rich. And as you can see, it's just starting to simmer to the point where it's starting to thicker enough where we can turn it off and then just gently pour it over our chicken. Over it goes. Which is just enough for 4 people. So now it's time for the potatoes to go onto the top of our pie. So we'll take our sliced potatoes, which we prepared earlier, and literally, very easily, we just layer them onto the top of the pie. We can do 1 layer or 2, whichever your preference is, depends how many potatoes you've got really. But if you've only ordered what you need with your veg box, you'll have just what you need, won't you? So it all kind of makes sense really when it comes to ordering online through Creamline. Talking of ordering online through Creamline, did you know that you only have to spend a minimum of £10 for a free delivery? Okay, now £10, you can get a lot for £10, can't you? Especially when you think what they charge in supermarkets for fruit and vegetables, because everything through Creamline is really price comparative or cheaper, but better quality too. So it all makes sense to buy online. Right, okay, so as you can see, the potatoes just nicely arranged on the top there. Slice them as thin as you can so they cook nice and quickly, and you get this lovely golden colour on the top when they start to cook all the way through. And at that point, all we're going to do then is pop it into the oven, 180 degrees, for around about 35 to 40 minutes, and out will pop this delicious chicken, leek and potato pie. So for our green beans in bacon, what we're going to do is we're going to divide our green beans into 4 portions now. So there's the first one. Just move our bacon out of the way. Again, you could do more portions, but I think 4 is just a nice size for this bundle we've got here. There we go. Shift the pan out of the way. And then because the bacon is so nice, which you'll see in a second, in the recipe it says use 1 whole slice for each bundle. I think you'll find in a second when you see the bacon I've got for you today that you can buy also online through Creamline. You'll also decide that 1 slice will do 2 portions. So all we do is take a slice of bacon onto our board. We're going to slice it just straight down the centre, like this. We take one of the slices, a bundle of beans, level them all up nicely, and roll them into the bacon. And what happens is when the bacon cooks in the oven, it actually shrinks and holds all the green beans together, and then you get this really nice little bundle of green beans, which are really easy to serve, because there's nothing worse than being sat at the dinner table when there's 4 of you, and you're fighting over who's got enough beans, or sometimes it takes that long to get them, they're cold by the time you get them. This way you've got a nice little portion, already bundled up, easy to serve, and really quick and easy. So, green beans wrapped in bacon just about there now. And the great thing about cutting the bacon into slices like I've done, it means out of a packet of 4 or 5 rashers, or even 6, you're going to have a couple of cheeky rashers for a bacon sandwich tomorrow. So, if you're up early enough, you can beat everybody else and enjoy a bacon sandwich too. But as you can see, there's still plenty for the portion to wrap the beans, keep them really nice, and serve them with the chicken, leek and potato pie. So once they're all wrapped up like that there, we take ourselves a baking tray. Now it doesn't need greasing because there's lots of lovely juicy flavoured fat on that bacon, which as it renders down and cooks, will stop it sticking to the tray. And then these are going to go into the oven about 10 minutes before the chicken, leek and potato pie is ready, so they'll cook at the same time and they'll all be served together. A delicious chicken, potato and leek pie. This recipe can also be made the night before or can be frozen and defrosted when you need it. When it comes to choosing your creamline ingredients, ordering is online and couldn't be simpler. And Creamline will organise delivery on the days that are most convenient to you. If you live in and around Greater Manchester or Cheshire, you should be covered by our delivery service. Just go online and pop in your postcode to find out. Creamline Online, the convenience store to your door.